Neil, when you joined Shannon just under a year ago, you were looking at an airport that had suffered 5 years of passenger decline, and you also had a shaky enough start to 2013, but the second half of the year was quite different. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, I came in 6 months into the new company, independent Shannon Airport, away from the DAA of old, and yeah, I came in June, so the first 6 months, as you say, the traffic was still really on the decrease, but of course it takes a little bit of time to turn things around.
Sure.
Coming in June, I was quite lucky because it was at the start of the US, US market, US services, and I think the success of the US services last summer, galvanised people and got confidence back into the market. They saw more US visitors coming here than we had done for several years before. So, credit to the US operators, and then working on that, helping to sell the seats, was the first step really to try and recover the business.
Sure. And Shannon's traffic breakdown is actually interesting. Of course, we all recognise it for its terrific transatlantic services, but in fact the bulk of your traffic volumes are between Shannon and Britain. Do you expect that to change very much in the future?
Well, I think the US market will continue to grow. In fact, we've seen United putting on 88% more capacity this summer from Chicago. So the United, Delta, US Airways, and now Aer Lingus also on the dailies. We expect that to grow. On the European front, well, we've now started with the Ryanair expansion as well as some Aer Lingus expansion. But yes, so in the UK front, it's an interesting market because it's not just point to point, but what we're starting to see more of are people from the States who are going to the UK. Sure. Or from the UK going to the States and choosing to transfer at Shannon. Yeah. And if that transfer includes a night stop, well, we promote that.
Sure.
Because it's a great product, and we're all used to doing our twin cities when we go to Singapore or Dubai on to Australia, so why not Shannon as a twin destination stopover?
Exactly. And there's been nothing but good news on new services in recent months. Which are the ones that please you most and that you feel have the best potential for tourism growth in the west of Ireland?
Well, I think it's an interesting one. I think the US one is key. I mean, obviously the US spend per passenger is that much greater than most of the countries in Europe. The European expansions with the Lingus, but also Ryanair. I mean, I think to get Ryanair back in. I mean, it was Ryanair, when the traffic numbers were really high at Shannon, 3.6 million, a lot of that was driven by the Ryanair business, and for Ryanair to pull out so dramatically and bring the traffic right down, hurt people here, hurt the economies here. So to get Ryanair back with a meaningful programme, 19 destinations now, has really been is key for us, I think, going forward.
Fantastic. And how far along are you with the establishment of the new Shannon Group?
Yeah, that's a very exciting project. So obviously phase one of that was this was the separation of Shannon Airport from the DAA, and then phase two with the Shannon Development branching out, or its functions branching out into different organisations, retaining the commercial property side of that within the business, along with the Shannon Heritage, very important, the Shannon Heritage side of things. It really links very well with the airport. So we're well down the road. The legislation will come through in the next few months, but we couldn't just wait for the legislation. So someone told me we're 95% of the way through the transition process.
That's pretty good. And on the broader picture, Neil, the plans for Shannon are very ambitious, but certainly seem achievable now given the fantastic start that you've had on the passenger number side. But the plan also envisages a substantial expansion of the International Aviation Services Centre and the development of a cargo hub. It's early days, but how are those plans coming forward?
There's a strong vision there for the development of the cargo, also development of the maintenance side of the house, the maintenance repair side, and also the helping more leasing, etc., and also things like training, education. So we do have ambitious programs. We've got 40 companies already in situ in terms of our aviation cluster. We've got 9 full hangars. So we've got to build on what's there and recognise
Sure.
what's there.
Sure.
But there's some good, strong ambitions there, and that's part of the
Great.
prize going forward.
Great. And finally, Neil, as we near the end of the first quarter, are you optimistic of continuing the strong passenger growth that was experienced last year? Do you think that's carrying forward into this year?
Yeah, I think it's a two-step process. We have to first get the capacity in.
Sure.
We've done that. We've got good capacity coming in now from the summer, and some of that's been extended to be year-round.
Yeah.
And then it's about filling the seats and working with everybody,
Sure.
everybody in the tourism industry, working together to make sure that we fill the seats. For that, we're going to be bringing people into Shannon, not just for the west of Ireland. 12% of our market from the States last year came through Shannon and went on to Dublin.
Sure.
So we are a gateway to Ireland,
Sure.
and gateway to the real Ireland.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, and well done on your first year, and we'll be wishing you all the best to have even greater growth this year and the years to come.
Thank you very much.